we were talking about China's economy and the growth, and you were focusing also, how do you see China's economic statecraft vis-a-vis Pakistan specifically on the issue of CPEC? Because that is also a good example for the global South, and that's a success story.
The United States is now saying America first, everything within the borders of the American territory. We don't want to do trade. We don't want to have the Chinese goods coming in. We want to have a ban on the export of technology. We don't want the Chinese companies to come in. I mean, this is the new economic order which is going to really hurt the global South. And the only power which is really helping the both in advocacy as well as assistance is China. And therefore, we must all in the global South try to strengthen the hands of China in the forums like the G20 and other forums where the interests of global South are protected.
That's a very important point made by Dr. Ishrat Hussain, that the countries, especially like the United States, which were spearheading globalization, which talked of free trade, which talked of open borders, and which said there should be no tariffs. And now suddenly there's a role reversal, and we see double standards. They are the ones imposing tariffs on China, on other countries as penalties. They are the ones who are opposing globalization. And I remember that famous speech of President Xi Jinping in Davos in January 2017, where he said that those who oppose globalization, it's being like locked up in a dark room, because now the world has been transformed.
And today, with the grace of God, we have 10,000 megawatts installed as a new capacity under CPEC. $27 billion have already been spent. There are 6 projects which are hydro projects which take much more time, and they will be completed in the next few years. And Pakistan today has a surplus energy rather than the shortages. So he was responding to our priorities and to our needs. Similarly, the 3 highways, the western route, the eastern route, and the central route, were connecting Gwadar with Kashgar. So when people say, well, it is China's secret mission in order to extract resources from the other countries, I say, look, is China taking away our electricity from Pakistan to them? Is they taking away our highways, which are helping our truckers to reduce their timing from 12 hours to 6 hours? And then they are constructing the Gwadar port. And the Gwadar port has been in offing for such a long time, but it's only the Chinese who have completed all the work on the port, and it now requires connectivity to the hinterland. And as soon as the western route takes place, which in a few years' time, I think Gwadar will take over as one of the very busy seaports. And finally, I would say that the new airport in Gwadar is state of the art. It is almost to be opened up. They have also created desalination of water, which will help the people of Gwadar. So the bottom line I wanted to emphasize that China actually has helped in the prioritization of Pakistan's economic growth and development. It is not their agenda, it is our agenda which they have financed under CPEC.
That's what they call win-win cooperation. And I think this success story, which you very graphically analyzed and explained with facts, shows that how CPEC, which has been the flagship of the Belt and Road Initiative, has been so successful. Just like the railway in Laos, or the Bandung-Jakarta railway, or the Mombasa railway with Nairobi, and so different parts of the world. And interestingly, while the West criticizes the BRI based on false assumptions, they also have copycat projects. B3W, Build Back Better the World. Then they have PGII, they call it, program for global infrastructure and investment. Then they talk of global gateway. But none of these copycat projects have taken off, while China's BRI in the last 10 years has invested over $1 trillion in 3,000 projects in different parts of the world.